Hey guys, what is going on? This is Wrestlelamia, back with another episode. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors you need to know, including Paul White's name mentioned in performance-enhancing drug investigation, Nick Khan talks CM Punk, Becky Lynch captures the NXT Women's Championship, is Lynch leaving Raw, 2024 Royal Rumble venue revealed, and more. Paul White's name comes up in DEA investigation of performance-enhancing drugs. Topping today's news is an ESPN report that Paul White's name has come up in a prior DEA investigation into Tony Bosch's Biogenesis of America Rejuvenation Clinic. You may recall the 2014 investigation led to Bosch's criminal conviction and the suspension of Major League Baseball stars, including Alex Rodriguez. Now ESPN's Mike Risch is reporting, what has not been publicly known until now, found in more than 1,400 pages of unredacted federal investigative documents obtained by ESPN, are the names of other athletes and figures, from world champion boxers and wrestlers to fitness gurus, entertainers, and even law enforcement officials who surfaced during the investigation of the largest doping operation in U.S. sports history. Fish noted that former WWE superstar Paul White's name was included in the documents into the investigation. The report states, during an April 9, 2014 interview with authorities, Bosch discussed treating Paul "The Big Show" White of WWE fame, a monster of a man at 7 feet tall and somewhere in the neighborhood of 400 pounds. At the time he saw the wrestler in 2009-10, Bosch operated out of a small room in the rear of a Coral Gables tanning salon with then-partner Jorge "Oogie" Velasquez. Bosch told authorities he first treated White's wife as a body sculpting customer before he was introduced to the Big Show by Velasquez. The ESPN story provided an account from White's attorney, Edward Brennan. White confirmed that Bosch and Velasquez were part of a large open house gathering at his home on Thanksgiving, but said White met Bosch only one other time. Brennan said White had never failed a drug test and stressed that any involvement with performance-enhancing drugs would pose a serious risk because of his having suffered from an endocrine system disorder. It's important to note that these are documents from an investigation that didn't result in any action towards Paul White. Nonetheless, his name, as well as the many other individuals mentioned in the investigation, is likely to provoke discussion. Nick Khan discusses CM Punk. Is CM Punk returning to the WWE? While rumor has it that Punk was considering a return to Titanland earlier this year, it's unknown whether he wants to return. However, what does WWE think about Punk returning? While we don't know for sure, some recent comments from Nick Khan may shed some light on things. Listen, we only have respect for Phil. We appreciate his run here. We appreciate what he did and tried to do with the UFC. Not many people can actually get in there and do what he did. So when we have respect for Phil, we wish him nothing but the best. It's worth noting that Nick Khan knows how to play the publicity game and spin things. For example, Khan claimed Pat McAfee wouldn't be at WrestleMania 39, only for the popular sports media star to show up at the Showcase of the Immortals. While it's safe to say that bringing Punk into the WWE would create plenty of controversy, and possibly plenty of cash, fans shouldn't take Khan's words at face value. Will WWE and UFC collaborate on shows? Now that the WWE and UFC merger is official, could fans see the two companies collaborate? While it's safe to say fans won't see a UFC invasion angle, there may be some business arrangements set up to capitalize on the two companies now being under one umbrella. During his interview with Mark Raimondi, WWE President Nick Khan suggested, we could see UFC and WWE events held in the same city on the same weekend. TKO could bring the two promotions to tourism authorities as a package deal and get paid to bring both to a jurisdiction. Site fees have already become a revenue stream for UFC and WWE. During the interview, UFC's Lawrence Epstein stated his goal is to bring UFC and WWE fandom together. Where we want to get is where every UFC fan is a WWE fan and every WWE fan is a UFC fan. Naturally, this would be a fantastic achievement, but UFC president and CEO Dana White dismissed it during a press conference, even referring to it as a dumb statement. Lawrence, I love you. That was one of the dumbest statements of all time. Yeah, I don't know why you said that. I don't even know what to say to that. White did find something to add to the statement. No, there's some crossover. Some people like WWE, some people like UFC, some people like both. I don't think there's ever going to be a day when we turn every UFC fan into a WWE fan or every WWE fan into a UFC fan. White did discuss the existence of synergy, which may or may not have been what Epstein was suggesting. Dana commented, what's beautiful about the synergy between these two fan bases is that they are very completely opposite. There's very little crossover, and again, maybe he was misquoted. I hope that's the case because I could not disagree with him more. Regardless of whether UFC fans will flock from a UFC show to a WWE event, there are benefits to holding shows together. For example, neither company should have to worry about one show cutting into another's audience, as was the case before the merger. Furthermore, fans who do enjoy both products will likely be happy to have to make just one trip to see two events. Becky Lynch is NXT Women's Champion. Big news for Becky Lynch as the man has captured the one WWE Women's belt that eluded her. Lynch appeared on the 13th September NXT, defeating Tiffany Stratton for the title. Now fans are asking why Lynch won and what's next for her as Women's Champion. Although some fans are lambasting the WWE for burying Stratton by having Lynch beat her for the title, others are pointing out that the program with Becky has already given Tiffany more time in the spotlight. After all, Stratton has appeared on the main roster to hype her program with Becky, and it's likely that ratings will go up for last night's match, a sign that main roster fans tuned in to see how Becky will do. Wrestlelamia believes this is just the beginning for Stratton as the 24-year-old superstar continues to improve in the ring and on the microphone. It'll be interesting to see how Stratton's character handles the loss and whether the WWE plans for her to eventually regain the belt from Becky. In the meantime, there's no word on how long the WWE intends to keep Becky in NXT. What do you think of Becky's big win? Let us know in the comments below. Becky leaving Raw? One question that's come up is whether Becky Lynch is taking time off Raw to focus on her newly won NXT Championship. The WWE seems to be keeping Becky and Rhea apart, but Ringside News is reporting fans on Raw will still be seeing lots of Lynch. Becky Lynch won the WWE NXT Women's title this week, but will that cause a change for the man's booking? We're told that there are no plans for Becky Lynch to take a break from the main roster after this title win. A lot of main roster superstars have pulled double duty in the past. Fans have seen this with Dominic Mysterio, who is a member of the Raw roster and NXT's North American champion. WWE announces Royal Rumble location. Big news for wrestling fans in Florida, as the WWE has announced next year's Royal Rumble will take place at Tropicana Field in Tampa Bay, Florida on 27th January. Ringside News' Felix Upton noted, 2 days later on January 29th, Monday Night Raw will take place at Amalie Arena in Tampa. This will be the first time the Royal Rumble has been held in front of fans in Tampa Bay since 1995. The Royal Rumble remains one of WWE's premier PLEs, and now that there are two men's world championships at stake, the men's Royal Rumble should be even bigger. Vince McMahon update. How is Vince McMahon doing following his back surgery? Nick Khan recently appeared on the Bill Simmons podcast, providing an update on Vinnie Mac's recovery. Look, assume that he's doing it faster than he should be doing, which one might say, hey, slow down, but again, I don't think to the Vinces and the Danas of the world there is any slowing down, so he seems to be progressing quite well. It was a major back surgery, he's back on his feet. Vince McMahon has always done things his way, so it shouldn't shock anyone, other than perhaps his doctor, if it turns out he's doing his recovery the Vince McMahon way. Bryan Danielson talks retirement. Is AEW star Bryan Danielson winding down his career? Is he retiring? Some recent statements by the American Dragon suggested he might slow things down or even retire when his 6-year-old daughter turns 7. Now Danielson is making it clear he plans on sticking around in some capacity. Bryan told Sports Illustrated, I don't think I'll ever reach a point where I declare I'm absolutely done. I want the ability to show up when I want to show up. Terry Funk is someone I've always admired. He retired 1,000,000 times, but he loved it so much he couldn't help but keep doing it. And he did it when he wanted. For me, it might be a couple of times a year, or it might be years between matches. Retirement is difficult for some wrestlers to pull off, and it sounds like Danielson is being realistic about what retirement means to him, as opposed to others. Naomi has a laugh at TKO's expense. Last but not least, former WWE superstar Naomi, aka Trinity Fatu, is apparently enjoying a laugh after news broke that TKO Holdings, the name of the now merged WWE Endeavor Group, placed her on its social media banner alongside WWE and UFC stars. Trinity, who is currently Impact Wrestling's Knockouts champion, responded to a fan who tweeted, well, technically, she's a knockout. Trinity Knockout equals TKO. Trinity responded with a gif of the cartoon dog Muttley laughing. Well guys, there you have it, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Leave your comments below, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time for some more wrestling content.